Hey, this is Alex Iser with Phone Doctors. We're gonna replace the screen on the iPhone 4S, show you how to do it and get it done. It's launch day. We just took it outside. We shot another video that you can check out on our YouTube channel. It's the iPhone 4S glass break test. Pretty awesome stuff. Check that one out. But getting started, let me show you what you get when you buy a DIY kit from the Phone Doctors. This is the best friend that you'll have repairing an iPhone, okay? It's called Screw Mat. We are the makers of it. We have a patent pending process on this deal right now as we speak. You can see up here, iPhone 4S, we made this morning, sent it off to the printing press and got it knocked out. So what's awesome about this thing is you have little all circles highlighting where all the different screw locations are. These blue circles that have the number 2, these are special locations where 2 screws come out of the same location. And then all the little parts over here, small parts that come off the iPhone, and they show you where those parts go back, because those are loose parts that come out during the process. So keeps you extremely organized. We also include 3 mini screwdrivers, a pentalobe screwdriver to get in the bottom, a Phillips screwdriver 00 to get you through all the other screws, and then a flathead screwdriver to take care of those 2 special screws I was talking about. Last but not least, we have some phone opening tools that we also give you. This is a metal tool that helps you get the screen assembly off of the mid frame. And then we give you this nice black plastic pick that is great to use for opening cables up and such. So let's get right into this repair. First thing we want to do is we want to take the SIM card tray out of the phone, and you can use the bottom of your pentalobe screwdriver, or sometimes even in your box they give you a SIM removal tool, which is handy. So put that SIM card tray over to the side. You always do want to try to power the phone off before getting into it. My screen doesn't work, and so we're just going to go ahead and push forward with it. So let's get into it. Pentalobe screwdriver on the bottom of the iPhone 4S. Take those out. You want to transfer those over to your screw mat. Now simply take the battery door and slide it up. It comes up about 1/8 of an inch, and it simply just picks up from the top. Put that over to the side, and let's take the battery out. Now we're going to jump over to our Phillips screwdriver and take these 2 screws out located down here at the bottom. These are securing the battery into the battery terminal, and we're going to transfer those onto the screw mat here, so we keep all the screws organized exactly where they go, because lots of these screws are all different sizes, and the screw down here won't fit up here, so you need to keep organized. Let's go ahead and use our black plastic pick to open this up. We're going to be nice and careful and just pry up that little connector like so. We got a little small part that just came out of there, and we're going to put that over next to that one on the screw mat. So let's take the battery out of the phone using the plastic tab that's provided. You want to grab the phone firm in one hand and evenly pull up on the battery. If that tab was to break, which a lot of the times it will, you want to use the metal opening tool, a wide base. You don't want to use a screwdriver to pry it out, because you could puncture the battery and make a mess. And evenly pry the battery out until it's lifted, and then you can get the battery out simply like that. Put the battery over to the side, and now what we'll do is we'll just take this plastic tab, peel it over and stick it so it's out of our working space area. And let's keep taking screws out here. We have 2 screws covering another little flex cable, which controls the dock assembly. Another screw right up here above. On the old iPhone 4s, there used to be a little liquid damage sticker covering that screw, but that's not here anymore. This has a little shield, put that over to the side. Moving up to the top, we've got a couple more screws to remove. Okay, and this screw, we got a little tiny shield. Go ahead and grab our black plastic pick here. We're going to come in here at the bottom, and I just scoot it underneath there, grab my finger and pull it straight up, okay? There's an oblong piece here that you know, it dives into a little compartment right there. Put that on our screw mat so we don't lose it. We now want to go ahead and unpick this little charging terminal. Nice and carefully pick that up, and we'll just gently unpeel that cable. Down here it peels off to the side. And we have a couple more Phillips screws we need to take out. We've got one right down here that's securing the bottom left of the circuit board and the vibrator. So now what we're going to do is we're going to remove the speaker dock. We've got a screw right down here in the bottom left corner, and there's also a little tiny black washer on that corner that we can just dump out like that. It's a little small triangle piece, as you can see right there. Just leave that there for a second, and we'll take out the screw on the right side of the speaker dock and transplant that over to our screw mat. Let's put this little black triangle piece over on the screw mat as well. We have a couple more things we need to do real quick here. Let's go ahead and take our flathead screwdriver at this point. We're going to remove these special screws. They look kind of funny, but they are necessary to remove. And that will go onto the screw mat labeled 2, the blue circle. One up at the top. Okay. And now a couple more things. Let's take our black plastic wedge tool. We have another antenna right up here that we need to remove. It just pops off like that. And then we have another antenna right down here at the bottom. We're just going to come nice and gently and then unweave that. There's a little tiny guide right there. At this point, we can basically just take out that speaker dock, just simply picking it straight out of there. We've got to get the shield off up here at the top. Just pick it up from the top like so. Put that over on the screw mat. At this point, let's go ahead and remove all of our cables here, okay? We'll go ahead and get the camera, just taking our black tool, picking that out. A couple other cables here, 1, 2, and 3. LCD and digitizer cable. Now, right up here is a hidden screw. You'll see that it has some black, like felt tape. We can throw away that felt tape. It's not necessary. I think it's just made there, put there to confuse us. It's a Phillips screwdriver, so let's go ahead and take that out. And there's also like a little copper, or I mean like a gold washer that's holding on to that. So we want to make sure that that gold washer comes off with it. And I'm just going to put that gold washer up by that screw so we know we have to put that back. And now basically what we're going to do is we're going to remove the circuit board. The circuit board is free, so picking it up from the bottom, we're just going to kind of sway it out to the right a little bit, put that aside. Let's take our metal phone opening tool, and we're going to come in here right at the side, and we're going to dig it underneath the cylinder vibrator. It's 3M sticky down, so it's a little sticky, but take that off, put that over in your screw mat. And now we're ready to remove the LCD from the mid-frame. We have 4 corner screws, and we have 3 screws on either side. The 4 corner screws we'll remove completely, and the side screws will just loosen about 1.5 turns. We put the 4 corner screws on the bottom right corner of the screw mat. There's a little box that says 4 LCD corner screws. Okay, a little tricky here. There is a 4th corner screw up at the top left corner, and there's more of that black felt tape. So you can scrape it off if you want like this, or you can just take your screwdriver and basically just pierce right through it and remove that last screw that's hidden. So 2 hidden screws basically on this iPhone 4S. Side screws, 1.5 turn, just enough to loosen them. The reason why we loosen them is because there's these are really short screws, and then there's also a washer, and when they come out, it just proves to be very difficult to put them back in. So we've just developed this way to speed up the process. We're now at the point to remove the LCD from its mid-frame, and you'll see where I insert the metal phone opening tool near the top, and we're basically just going to pierce right into this little gap right there, that seam, and we're going to just take the tool and wedge out and do that nice and evenly around. Come down to the bottom here. Same thing, just prying it up out of that deal. Got 2 cables here that we just need to slide through the slot, and that's done. At this point, what you would want to do is you'd want to check any of the surface area for small broken glass shards. You want to remove those, make sure that your surface area is completely clean before we put on the brand new LCD. We're at also the point where you need a new LCD screen, and we're going to cut to a commercial break for phone doctors, and we'll be right back to finish up this repair. Okay, what we need to do now is we need to remove the home button from the broken screen, and we'll take like your metal phone opening tool, and this just has a little bit of sticky adhesive, so peeling this up and pushing through on the bottom side will get that home button to come right up. And then basically what you're going to do is you're just going to take this home button, you're going to transfer it and put it on the new screen, and just get that sticky back down, and that's that. Okay, this is the most crucial part of the entire repair process, is protecting these cables, making sure that they don't get crimped or caught up when installing into the mid-frame. These cables are made to be flush with each other, the length of them, and so what we want to do is we want to take those cables and feed them through the slot, and as we're feeding them through, this cable tends to get caught up on the inside right here in this gap. It tends to just kind of bunch up, and we don't want that. So what you need to do is leave the opening wide enough to gently get the cables to feed through that slot, and close that gap as those cables are flush. See how they're flush there, and it's closed? That's what we want. We don't want that cable being too short. And if it's too short and you've already closed the LCD on the top, do not pull the cable through, you'll rip the cable. So you want to open the LCD back up and then pull the cable through gently. So at this point, we're just going to get the LCD into its mid-frame here all around. And like so. There we go. First thing we will do is we'll take our Phillips screwdriver and we'll tighten the sides. 6 side screws. Now we're going to move on to our 4 corner screws. Okay, take your vibrator. This is important to put the vibrator in first before the circuit board, and we want the copper coils to be pointing straight towards this side over here. That's important. Now we're going to take our circuit board, and I'm going to lay this down here real quick to point something out. This portion of your circuit board right here, the very, very top, that needs to tuck into the middle housing right up in here. There's a little groove that it's got to fit into as we install it. So let's go ahead and get the circuit board installed. These 3 cables seem to want to get in our way, so we're going to pull those off to the side, and we're going to go ahead and line up that circuit board with some of the screw threads and lower that down into place like so. And just to test your work, why don't you look at all the screw holes locations, making sure that they all meet up with the mid-frame. So at this point, what we'll do here real quick is let's go ahead and install this screw right down here where the vibrator's at. And I'll use my opposite fingers as a stabilizer. At this point, let's go jump up here to the top now so we don't forget this. We'll take that little gold piece and we'll grab the two little tiny legs with our left hand, and we're going to lower that right down into place here. Okay. Secure it with its screw. Excellent. We can take our camera and put the camera into its little compartment now. Close up the connectors. Make sure we have 3 cables here, which we do, that's good. And these connectors, you just want to do your best to line them up and then just press with the palm of one of your fingers. There we go. All the connectors are down nice. And now let's take our special screws. You can use a Phillips screwdriver to get it started if you want, but just make sure that you don't strip the screw. I'm just gonna get them started and then I'll finish them with the flathead screwdriver. And the other special screw right up at the top corner. Okay, let's grab our flathead screwdriver and tighten those up. Okay, jump back up here to the top. We need to close that little antenna. And these little antennas can be a little bit fragile, so just make sure that you get it lined up correctly and then press it down onto its connector. We'll take the little cover and I'll just grab the little black handle, and we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it right down into place right here. There's a little silver metal piece here. We're gonna put it right between the silver and the circuit board. Once it fits down into place, let's take our Phillips screwdriver and secure that down. Okay, take our metal shield here. There's a couple little grooves that we want to get that in there. Kind of like you put it down and slide it up. Really helps out a lot using your opposite hand as a stabilizer, because I think all of us kind of have a little slight shake, especially with little tiny screws. Telling you, this screw mat thing sure comes in handy because all these screws are different sizes and I would have a mess going on without the screw mat. Okay, let's stop putting screws in for a minute and come on down here. We're going to drop in the speaker dock. There's a little jagged edge right there that's going to fit down on the left side, and get the left started and then just push down on the right. Let's take our little black triangle washer. It only goes in one way, and let's get a shot here toward the screw mat. All these little small part pieces, the way that they're photographed and put on the screw mat is the exact position that they need to be installed in on the phone. So taking our black plastic washer, we're gonna go ahead and drop that down into place on top of that left side of the speaker dock, and then we'll secure it with its screw. on both the left and right side. Now we can take this little flex cable, peel that back on and get that connected here. Push down. We'll take our little metal shield, cover up that connector, and we'll secure that down into place. And I use my other hand to hold it still so it doesn't slide all around. Okay, get started. We can probably take our little plastic battery tab and peel that up. Okay, so now we're going to connect our little and last antenna. This got to get wove back through its little channel system, and these cables can be a little bit fragile, so you want to make sure that you line it up correctly and then press it on. Over the antenna cap, and then line it up with the screw thread. Now taking our battery, we'll go ahead and carefully put that on its connector, like so. Taking our Phillips screwdriver, getting these last two screws in. And get that plastic battery tab unpicked again. And we're going to plant the left side of the phone battery first, and then fold it down on the right side. At this point, we'll go ahead and take our battery door, start it about 1/8 of an inch higher, making sure it's flush on both sides, and then sliding it down and locking it into place. This would be also the time that we can take our SIM card and tray, slide that back down into place. We'll power the phone on, just like that. We know we're working. We can finish it by putting the bottom two dot connector screws in. And that's the repair. So thanks for tuning in to the Phone Doctor's version of the iPhone 4S screen replacement. Any other videos that you need, check us out on youtube.com/phonedoctors.